y'all don't know that we had a business baby last month. We birthed the baby. Victor helped us birth the baby. We were in Lamont last month. We birthed the business baby. Right? Don't even act brand new because that's what we did. And so now, today, what we got to do, before I even introduce our speaker, I just got to tell you, this is what's up on the horizon. Tonight, I need to know from you because I'm getting ready. I got to really do some fast tracking now between now and the end of next month. Okay? Because we are in the last quarter of the year, we are in the last quarter of this financial literacy initiative. Okay? I need to know, just by, just if you would, those of you, I have your names because you signed in with the QR code. And I just need to know if you plan on attending the celebratory event in December. December is not going to be a class. We're going to celebrate the end of the 3 years. Because can you believe we have been doing this for 3 years? It is just unbelievable. We started January of 2023, and here we are in December of 2025 almost, and it is near the end. But don't worry, don't fret. Doc back there, she's working on, we've been in conversation, and it will continue. We're in conversations, but just know that the initiative part will be done in December of 2025, okay? But we're going to have a very nice table meal, certificates, graduation, all that kind of stuff. I'm just in the works. But I got to have a number because when I talk with the caterer, I got to just know who's coming, just a number so that I'll be able to have this conversation. Next month is going to be kind of different. The plan is for us to have a mini expo, okay? So we won't be sitting here, we'll be walking around, going around to the different tables. That's my plan, was to have people to come in, like all of, some of the people that we've had, it might be different people. I want to have bankers, I want to have people that are insurance agents. I want to have just different people just to come, and you all be able to walk around to these different tables and look at some of these different services. Maybe you might be able to have some on-the-spot things, and so it'll be like a mini financial literacy expo. Okay, so that's what next month is going to be like. So it's going to be a regular class, so we probably won't have any refreshments because it's going to be moving throughout the building. So December is going to be our class. Notice we hadn't had any we hadn't had any door prizes the last couple of times because, like I said, December I want to do it big. Okay? So just know that this is our last official class, and what better way to close it out? We started kind of with the city, and we're going to end it with the city. Yes. I just cannot believe this is it, for real. I'm feeling a certain type of way about this thing. We have been attached for a long time, 36 months almost. 36 months. We have been attached at the hip. And it has been a long journey, well worth it. And just know that I did speak to our Amber. She is coming next month on November 22nd to do our class. Our home class is going to be from 10 until 4 on November 22nd. I'm working, she's going to give me the flyer and the information, but I do know it's going to be 10 to 4 at the Bateman Center. Just know I'm going to go live and blast it all out, and we'll have a flyer and everything. And lunch will be provided because it is going to be an all-day session. Okay, so put it out there. We got to have at least 3 people to attend. At least 3 people to attend. Even if we just get somebody just so that we can share the information. Okay? What day is it? November the 22nd. Is that a Saturday? It is a Saturday. It is a Saturday. Yeah. November the 22nd. So it's going to be at the Bateman Center. All right? That way, you get that class, you get that certificate. It's good for a year. And I'm just excited. My friend got it in. She done pressed me, and I made sure. So just make sure. November 22nd. Bring 2 or 3 friends. Yes.
Dr. Tiff, is that the same certificate like I got last year?
Yes.
4 years. So it's time for me to try to do it again.
Well, if it has expired, yes.
Mine don't have an expired date.
It will. It's only good for a year.
Okay.
Yes, it's only good for a year. So if I were you, just to be on the safe side, I would redo it. Yeah. Yep. Just think about when you did it. It should have a date on there.
I got to look at it.
Yes, but November 22nd, that's going to be our time. We need at least 3 people trust me, I'm going to make sure that you are fed. It's a community event, I will make sure that you're fed. And we ain't, you know, don't worry, I'm gonna have you fed now. So we're gonna be up there all day long. Okay, 10 to 4. Okay? All right, so without any further ado, now we done had this baby last month. We might need some employees, and so you got these employees scrambling, trying to figure out what do I do every time. I don't even know how to fill out these papers. What's the best thing to do? What do you need to do? You know. But we have the expert, because I defer to the expert, because I don't know everything, and I just, you know, you just have to ask the expert. You know what I'm saying? So the expert tonight is none other than Ms. Jocelyn Paul, who is our HR director for the city of Tifton, and she's going to give us some good information. I told her you all like handouts, so yes, we're going to have handouts. So listen, whenever she gets done, I don't know how the handouts going to work, but y'all just know you're going to have handouts, and you know, we're just talking. Just feel free, you know, but without any further ado, here she is. It's all yours.
Well, thank you all for having me today. The handouts were up here, just a quick overview of starting a new job and things to look for. Throughout this presentation, I won't keep you all night. I've had a long day myself. So we'll go through it, but please ask any questions that you might have. Doesn't matter the question, okay? All right, so I am Jocelyn. Again, I am the HR director. What's your name?
I would, for her to give me one.
Okay. So
I apologize.
I'm the HR director for the city of Tifton. I'm working on my 8th year with the city. I graduated here from Tift County High School. I am a product of that lady right there, Dr. Tiff. She stayed on me my senior year for sure.
Y'all already know.
And I went on to continue my education and get my bachelor's degree at Valdosta State in business administration. All right, so let's jump right into it. I love this quote: people are an organization's most valuable asset and the key to its success. And that is absolutely true. No business, no company, no foundation, nothing can run without its people. You make that business that business. It's going to be successful, or if you are successful in your employment, it's going to be successful if they give you everything that you need to make sure that their business is ran according to the standards of the community that they are serving. So when you got the job, I guess you guys have kind of been through the stages of going through. So you've gotten the job. You went through the hiring process. You submitted your application, resume, all of that good stuff. When they are hiring, or when we are hiring, we look for a lot of things. If you're filling out an application, I look for neatness. If I can't read your information, I can't contact you. I can't read it. I don't know what your record is. So I look for neatness. If you feel like your handwriting is not always that legible, type it out. I look for a resume, especially in certain positions. A resume will give you more information than sometimes an application. That's your way to go into depth. You can give an overview of what you're looking for, your background, more than what our simple application will look for, which is just basic information and maybe 3 prior employment, right? Depending on a position that you're applying for, the interview process and timelines can move slow or fast. Check in. I check in. I call. I'm looking for this and want to know, hey, where you are in the process, and very eager. That shows us, hey, that person's worth having an interview. I don't believe in simply the interviews. Just because you submit an application doesn't mean I'm going to give you an interview. I look for the right person because, for one, I don't want to waste your time nor mine. So always make sure you're checking in. That's going to show your eagerness. Your resume tips, make sure it is very plain and simple. Some people put pictures on there, so that's fine. If you're going to put a picture, make sure it's a professional picture. You know, no Facebook, Snapchat type of things. Make sure it's very professional and that your resume is strategically outlined. Have an overview of what you're looking for and what your goal is for whatever amount of years and what you're doing. You'll come to negotiation of benefits once you get into that hiring process. Sometimes things are negotiable, sometimes they're not. But it doesn't hurt to try. Always try. All right, so you're hired, and then you have an onboarding process. The onboarding process is where you're going to fill out all of this information. This is what gets you in the system and gets you working for that particular company. come in for onboarding, you wanna make sure you have the basic documents. Your ID, social, sometimes birth certificate, depending on what you're applying for or what you're been hired for. You wanna have your payroll information. Everyone basically does direct deposit these days, so have that ready available, okay? It can be a voided check or a direct deposit form, either or typically works. You wanna have your tax information. Some people don't know how to fill out their tax forms, and we cannot tell you. That is against the law for us to tell you what you should put, because only you know how you file with the IRS. It is very important to watch your tax information. A lot of people file exempt the first half of the year, and then they pick back up. But it's not our responsibility to tell you that you need to update it. Only you can touch that information. We cannot tell you what to put on it. I tell people, hey, single zero takes out the most. File single zero. If you need any other type of additionals, that is totally up for you to make that decision. If it doesn't look right once you get your full paycheck, you go back to your HR payroll people and have them correct that, because you don't want to get to the end of the year and you're getting ready to file the IRS and you're completely screwed, and no one is liable for that but yourself. You also want to have beneficiary information, especially if you're having a full benefits package where there's retirement involved. You want to have that beneficiary information in case anything happens to you. You want to list someone, because if anything were to happen to you, God forbid, it's going to be up to whoever to get a lawyer, fight for those monies that you require and you put away in a retirement fund. Instead of just going ahead and having a beneficiary said, you can save that from your loved one. All right, so compensation and benefits. So this is more tailored towards the particular company. Every company doesn't have a benefits package. Most of the time, if you're a full-time employee, they offer some type of benefits. But sometimes it's not as extensive as others. That's one of the things when you're applying for a job. If they have it listed, look at it. Kind of see what you're getting yourself set up for, especially if you have a plan for what you want to do, your retirement and things like that. Ask those questions. For me, I'm open records. We're public, so you can ask any question that you want to, and we will provide it. So what do you expect? Look for benefits such as medical, dental, vision, all of those ancillary benefits, and life insurance. Sometimes companies put in a higher percentage so that you have a lower amount to pay for a $10,000 policy. It's always good to ask, and whatever handout that they provide you with, make sure you look at it and ask questions always. Sometimes benefits, when you start a job, they don't start automatically. So if you start on the 15th of the month, typically your benefits won't take effect into 30 days in that following first. So say today you get hired on the 21st, your benefits would not start until December 1st. So you have that waiting period. So if you're leaving a previous job, it's always good to kind of figure out where your benefits tail off and when they'll pick up, especially if you have doctor's appointments and things that are pre-planned. Look for family options. A lot of businesses do not offer family plans. They only offer employee plans. Sometimes those family plans come with a bit more where you get more off to cover your whole family, and sometimes they're more expensive because you are covering your whole family. So again, always good to ask questions. And then we'll move on to retirement. We need our retirement. I mean, it seems like the retirement date is moving up every time you look around. So ask these questions about your retirement. What kind of plan do they have? Do they have a 401k? Do they have a 457 deferred compensation plan? Ask those questions and know what they mean to you and how you can invest in them. One of the things I'm working on is getting additional retirement. Honestly, we all need additional these days. So I'm working on getting an additional one. A pension. For us, we have an in-service retirement that we just started this year. That in-service retirement means that if you reach your retirement age, for public safety is age and years of service, you can have in-service retirement, which means that you can start commencing on that retirement and still be employed. It's the best of both worlds. It really has no stipulations on it. I'm waiting to get there. All right, so a little bit more about the insurance. Health insurance, dental, vision, long term. For us, we do it through GMA, Georgia Municipal Association. It's a big pool. But then we also have local brokers here that handle all of our ancillary benefits such as dental and vision, long term. I prefer companies like that, someone that I can go right in and talk to, that I don't have to call on the phone. So it's always good to get all the information have it already readily available. So I give people, when we onboard, you have everything, boom, bam, bam. You can look it up, you can sign in, you have a portal, and I try to make it as available as possible because you never know when you're going to need it. We also offer flex spending and health savings accounts. Flex spending allows you to buy certain things that you need, handmaids, and several things of that sort. And a health savings account continues to roll over, and you can use that for anything. Surgeries, anything, co-pays, all of the good stuff. So we made it through onboarding, all the crazy stuff, the benefits you have to pay, all of that good stuff. Now, you also want some accrual time. You need to have some vacation time, holiday pay, sick leave, FLI. It's very important that your job provides all of that for when you're needed, for when it's needed. So vacation, you can look in your handbook most of the time and it tells you how much accrual you'll get for each one. FLI is wide. Everyone has FLI. Everyone has to have FLI. So if you ever need FLI for whatever, whether it's intermittent or it's the full 12 weeks of time, you can have it. You can ask for it and they have to provide that for you. So another big thing I look for, especially when we are in the hiring process of interviewing and when we're onboarding, is the culture and the engagement. You can have an employee that has all the credentials, they're great on paper, they sound good, but do they fit the culture of your department that you're trying to place them in? If they don't fit that, that could be very detrimental to that department. So do you fit the culture in the department you're trying to go into? Check that. Always make sure that you are able to go into an environment that is also beneficial to you. You don't want to be in a toxic environment or anything of the sort. You want to be in a very welcoming environment that allows you to grow within that business environment. So the company culture is very important. Sometimes you can find their mission or their vision. Their mission and vision is very important because that says what the company is all about. Ours is posted everywhere. Employee well-being is important. Do they care about employees? These times people are getting burnt out. They're working more hours, not having enough time to reset, and you don't want employee burnout. You want to make sure your employees are well taken care of. So make sure that they consider your well-being when you are going on to this new job. Do you look for diversity and equity and equality? Do you look for someone where you don't feel that you're singled out? No one wants to go in and feel like the target, the speck, anything. You want to make sure that your company is an overview of what every department and every business should look like. So now, where's your first day? Your first day, you're all cheery, you're happy, you're ready to start. Be ahead of time. Don't come on time. Be ahead of time. That shows that you're prompt, you're ready, and you're eager to get started on your new venture. Your attire should reflect the guidelines of that company. So you do onboarding before your actual first day. You have that handbook, hopefully, that they give you a handbook. It should tell you what the guidelines of the attire for your position are. Reflect in that. When you went in the interview, that was your initial impression. You should continue to look the part to make sure that you're up to standards for their policy. Be prepared to take notes. Every meeting I go into, I got a notepad ready. If I'm caught off guard, I'm going to my notes with my phone. Be prepared to take notes. You never know when someone's going to come back and say, hey, what did we talk about? Or, hey, can you answer this for me? And you don't know because, it's a lot of information. Take notes. Taking notes shows initiative, showing that you care about what you're doing. So having a notepad, pen, pencil, this technology, we carry our phones. Ask questions. In your first day, don't be afraid to ask questions. That shows that you don't want to mess up, that you want to make sure you're doing these things correctly. So ask questions and observe. Sometimes sitting back and watching others is the best way to learn. Showing initiative is a big thing for me. I love to do succession planning. I am a product of succession planning within the city. I started in customer service. I was asked to come and move up. Self-doubt, I took it out twice and went back and finally did it with no problems, moved up. HR coordinator and HR director for the last 3 years, right? So I'm a product of succession planning. I look for succession planning. If you're not showing initiative and trying to be involved, that doesn't show anyone that you want to grow. So showing initiative, taking that initiative, and being involved is what's going to get you to that next level. Everyone wants to grow within their position. All right, your performance when you start, you're in the process, you're hired. Goal setting is major for me. You set goals for yourself and you ask, what goals do I need to reach? What goals do you have for me? What would you like to see me grow in? And I have a goal for myself. It's one of the questions that we ask on our evaluations. What goals do you want to reach within the year? What goals do we have for you? Your coaching for performance, always ask for feedback. I've completed this task, can you please give me feedback on it? I have this project, what did you think about it? What could I do better? That shows that you really care about what you are doing and you want to continue to strive and be better. Always conducting effective reviews. You are always being reviewed. We do a performance evaluation at the end of the year, and it's not going to be based off just that last month. It's going to go back, all your disciplinaries. If you were late, and maybe they never said anything, that's going to be on your evaluation. So you can't be surprised when it's time to be evaluated. It's just like, you come in late 10 times on the whole year, and you're like, oh, I thought I was doing good. Your evaluation sticks with you. It stays in your file. Those things can make or break maybe a raise if they have merit increases, and you don't want to show that your performance is what caused you not to grow. All right? A part of what I do is handling conflict. So I'm always acknowledging and listening. When it comes to conflict, it comes to work, we spend more time with our employees and our co-workers than we do our own families at times. So conflict is going to arise. How you handle it, how you respond to it, is going to make all the difference. So if a conflict arises, acknowledge it, listen, manage your emotions. You should not react out of your emotions. That's usually the first sign that it's gone wrong, it's going to end wrong. Do not react. You want to be proactive in the conflict, taking those steps, making sure you went and reported that issue to whoever needs to be that first. Follow that chain of command and address any HR violations because again, they are in your file and they will stick with you regardless. Documentation is a very important part of that. I think I have a little sign in my office that says, did you document it? So when someone comes and they're like, oh, this person isn't working out, I'm going to point to the sign. Did you document it? I can't do anything without documentation. That is your proof. I have a little book that I walk around with. I'm taking notes, and I can say, no, back on this day, Tuesday, 10:31, in the conference room, we had this conversation pertaining to this, and this is who we're all involved. Did you document it? That is going to hold up better than he said, she said. So always have your documentation. That is going to be what any HR, any person handling conflict looks for. We can't go by what he said and she said. You have to have that proof. So, document it or it did not happen. Live by it. Alright, so these are just some of the things that we do to show employee engagement. We have a wellness committee, we do biometric screenings, presentations on health topics, the walk and luncheon surprise, the biggest loser, mental health. Our wellness committee shows that we care about not only what you do here, but for yourself. If you don't have a healthy employee, that person's not going to do their job. So I support your health. And health isn't just about going to the doctor. Your mental health. You have approved time. Take a mental day. As long as you're not behind and you've shown initiative, take a day. Everyone has to take better care of themselves or you can't take care of what you need to do in your business. We also show appreciation. So we had a big appreciation day this year. So I want you to take care of yourself, but I also want you to know that I appreciate all your hard work. It doesn't go unnoticed. And appreciation, give me a little extra. I like that kind of appreciation. But appreciation, bring out your families. Anything that a company provides you and wants to show your appreciation, that is big. Most companies don't show you any type of appreciation. They give you your paycheck and say, good day. But we want to show you that appreciation to your employee goes a long, long way. So look for companies and businesses when you are getting into your new position. See what they do for their employees. All right, so we have some tips for employees, and you also have some tips here on the papers for you that we gave you for a handout. Always ask for feedback. That's going to show that you care about what you're doing. You want to grow. Continue learning. You move in one thing, you think you've mastered that, it's time to try to go on. So I'm currently getting my HR certification. I take those trainings. I go twice a year, now 3 times a year, to show that I want to continue to build on what I already have to continue to make this a better company. Protect your mental and physical well-being, because you can't do your job if you're not okay. So we always support your well-being, your health. Communicate. If you come to work and you're not happy, it's going to reflect in your job. You don't want to come and be that Debbie Downer. Now everyone else around you is a Debbie Downer. And now you just feel like this is toxic. I can't be this. You've wasted your day because negativity in the building. No, communicate. Hey, are you okay? Now, if someone's not responsive to it, go on about their day, but don't let that affect you. Communicate your concerns. Report HR violation. You're not a snitch, but then when we found out you knew about it as well, now you've been involved. You know, it's kind of default type of thing. So read your employee handbook. It tells you all of that good stuff. And stay organized. I need to take that too. I have papers everywhere, but stay organized. You don't want your workspace to not show that you aren't organized, because that shows that you're not proficient. You can't do your job correctly if you're not somewhat organized. I am somewhat organized. All right, so winding down here, these are the available roles that we have in the city of Tifton. All are not listed. We have plenty of more. Constantly trying to build more positions. At these times, we need more hands on deck. So if anything you see, you are more than welcome to ask me about these positions. They are listed online with their pay and actual job description that shows you what they are. Not all positions require extra degrees or things like that. We are a teaching. If we feel like you are capable of doing the job, we will train you. We will get you the training. We will send you to the training to make sure that you are well equipped for the job that we think you can do. I'm in a question. I told you it wasn't going to be long. I'm just thinking.
I have a question.
Yes.
So the FMLA, I know that that's like across the board, so every employer, has to honor that.
Yes.
So, but, I've heard of some cases that whenever you come back from that, people, they don't necessarily, sometimes might make it difficult for you when you come back into that, come back to your role after you've been on FMLA.
If that is the case, that sounds like a hostile work environment. With FMLA, it only guarantees that you have a job to return to. So it doesn't mean that you'll come back to the same position that you were in, but a job is similar. If that is the case and they're making it, they're treating you differently, that is a different violation for many reasons, because you're treating me differently because of a work condition or a condition that I went on, which is a serious health condition, whether that be for yourself or a family member. That needs to be reported to HR.
And so, but you have to exhaust all of your needs first before you use the FMLA?
No. No, FMLA means that you're going to be out, whether it's intermittent or it's continuously for that amount of weeks. Your accrued leave typically is to help cover your benefits while you're out. Because you don't want to come out of pocket and paying this astronomical amount of benefits when you have accrued leave, which is why it's important to build your leave, not exhaust it as soon as you get it. Because then you won't have anything in that time to cover those benefits.
Yes, to follow up, some of the when you leave for 12 weeks, some of those periods are not paid if there's no work.
Yes. All FMLA is not paid. That depends on that company, that business you work for. That's something, one of those qualities that you say, I look to have a child in the next 2 years. Is their FMLA paid or unpaid? That is very dependent on what you get short-term. Because if you're gonna go out on long-term, you're probably gonna be getting some type of disability for a while. But definitely get short-term. If you've hurt yourself and it's not work-related, you wanna have something to keep those bills afloat. So short-term kicks in after a certain amount of days, just kind of depending, after you went out of work. So you have to be out of work for a certain amount of days before short-term kicks in. Then, long-term doesn't kick in until a substantial amount, depending on what's going on. Yes, ma'am.
I see when you said direct deposit information. What if an employee doesn't have a bank account? Do y'all still submit paper checks or a card?
So for us at the City of Tifton, we actually offer a bank account. We are partnered in with the mayors. So if you don't have a bank account, which a lot of younger people don't, we offer it where you get a free checking account through a mayor's. Now, if they don't have one, we do offer paper checks, but as a courtesy, you want direct deposit